Hello everyone, Sophia here from My Great Challenge, and this is video number 2 of my little winter project in which I am going to I'm going to redo my entire entryway. So the last time I taped this or filmed this, I left you with me having filled the hole in the door and caulked and put the expanding foam in all of the gaps that I had that was causing drafts. And so that was yesterday. Today I'm going to sand and paint the door. I have to tell you, when we woke up this morning and went into this sally port, we purposely left the second door closed to make sure that everything would just stay kind of contained. The temperature inside the sally port, the little foyer that I have here, was totally different, and it was a cold night last night. So obviously whatever I did yesterday really significantly stopped draft and cold from coming in. I still have the bottom of the door that has a serious gap. You saw that in the last video, but there's going to be a real strip, a door strip added to that. At the end, I have to paint the door first before I install that. So I still have to check the closet because the closet remains cold, so there obviously is a draft in there, but it's made a huge difference. So once I have everything sealed and the floor is redone, I have insulation on the floor and a new kind of like wooden parquet floor, and everything has been nicely sealed and painted, it's going to be a totally different space. I'm really excited about that. So the reason why I'm doing this now is because it's a typical winter project. I don't have to be outside. It's small enough that it doesn't create a huge amount of mess in the house. I don't have to get like a ton of tools. It's a kind of like, it's a small project. I'm actually pretty excited about that because this area here I've always neglected, literally always neglected. So it's giving me an opportunity to really go over all the things that are problematic in here and solve them once and for all. Once I have everything painted, I'll tackle the closet. That closet is an eyesore. It really is a big problem. We have too many coats, too many of everything. I'm sure there's shoes in there that nobody wears, and my tea is ready. I gotta go get my tea. Shoes are too small. So there's definitely some decluttering involved in this project. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You notice that I'm not diving into projects and doing like 6 hours, 8 hours worth of work. I've decided that for this year, I'm going to really pace myself. Not for the purpose of stretching content, but for the purpose of saving my sanity and doing things more methodically and a little bit calmer, because I tend to really, like I mentioned yesterday, run around like a chicken without my head, and I'm trying to be a little bit more focused. So let me get my tea going and we're gonna get started. So here we go. The first order of business, and the reason why I decided to do this entire project here, is to sand this area here. So if you remember, right behind this patch right here, I had the opening to the mail slot that's outside, and there was a lot of draft coming out of there. So for those of you who didn't watch that video, what I did was remove the brass frame that was there, and I inserted a piece of styrofoam. I then put some of the slow expand foam in there, and once that was dry, I scraped off whatever was coming unflushed or kind of popping out, and then I decided to put some of the spackle. So I have just regular spackle there, and now what I need to do is basically just sand the whole thing, and hopefully it won't show anymore once it's painted, and I will have it completely sealed. So I'm going to start with a thick grit, and then I'll do a very fine grit. So coarse first to remove the excess, and then very fine. this is what it looks like with just the thick or coarse one. So I remove most of it, you can see that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the fine grit. Here it is with the fine grit, and you can see a little bit of the original frame here. So what I'm going to do is use another piece of fine grit here, and I have some areas there that are not necessarily even, but my issue is the door gets in the way itself, so I'm not able to get a really good grip on it. So I'm going to just do that by hand. I would say that's pretty much done, and I'm very happy. So once this is painted, is it going to be completely perfect and flush? Probably not, but it definitely won't be that obvious. But then again, I don't know, because we haven't painted it yet, so we'll find out when we get there. So the next step is for me to tackle the corner over here, which was, you know, kind of difficult to get yesterday. I had to get, let me move this somewhere else. I have more of that tape, by the way. This one is just for right now. Once the door is painted, I'll apply a new one, much better. So here, if you remember from yesterday, I had a big gap that was about 3/8 of an inch, and if I was putting a flashlight on the other side, you definitely would see the light. There was a serious draft coming on through this particular gap here, which is the frame, and then it goes directly outside. So that's the main frame of the door. That's the frame to the closet. I had to put the foam in there, and then I cut the foam flush, and once the foam was cut flushed, I applied some of that putty. So I have now to really even out and round up this corner here. So I'm going to start again with the coarse sanding paper, and I'll finish it off with the fine one, and then of course I'll finish some of it by hand, and this is going to get painted. And for the floor itself, I'm not too worried about it, because again, I'm redoing the floor. I'm keeping the tiles, but I will put a pad on them, insulating pad, and then I'll probably put either parquet floor. It's not a big surface, maybe $60 worth of wood, or I'll put pergo. I'll see what I can find that matches the color in the living room. So let me get started with this. It's going to be very awkward for me to do this. I have to be really close to it, so I don't think you're going to be able to see a lot, but I'm going to try to give you a close-up as I'm doing it. Looks like I still have a little bit of that foam here that I need to cut out, so I'm just gonna go and remove some of it. But again, this is gonna get covered, so I don't really care much, but I'll try to get things done proper here. This is looking pretty good. I'm actually quite happy with myself. Man, I can't wait to see it with new floor. Anyway, I have a few other areas where I need to sand. I'm not going to show you that because, you know, otherwise the whole video is going to be about sanding. If you remember, there was a hole former screw in the door, a couple of patches here and there, and then another corner here that I filled out. So I'm gonna take care of this, and when I come back, I'll have everything cleaned out, and well, I'll have to wash the door first, and then we'll start painting. So quick update, I'm about ready to wash everything. I did sand the door a little bit. There were some areas where the paint was peeling, so I got all of that taken care of, and then everything has been vacuumed. So you see that corner here is gonna look really, really good. And then again, I redid that corner here as well, and that one had an even bigger gap. It had a gap that was similar to this one here, if you see that. Now, I didn't do this one because I'm going to put my new floor underneath it. And then this one, the floor will go flush to it. And that was the, there's a difference in floor leveling, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. Old house. So all of this is vacuum. I'm going to wash. I have my paint here already. And I'm basically just going to wash with soapy water. And if you remember from yesterday, I told you that I had a issue right here where there obviously was an old lock. I don't know if you remember when I did this door, but it appeared to have a previous hole from a different lock that was somewhere around here. So anyway, there was like a big indentation right here in the wood. So I just filled out the whole space here with putty, and it's still wet. Obviously, I have to wait for it to dry. Then I'll just lightly sand it, and it will make the hole disappear. So I have plenty of other things to do in the meantime, such as painting this door and the frame over here, and trying to not go too fast. I gotta paint this, and then I just realized I gotta figure out a way to get this thing here back in place. It's keep moving. I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna take care of that now. Right, so this thing keeps popping out, and what I've done over the years is just basically put a piece of tape, but you can see that it's not working properly. So I have to figure out why this is not staying. It's supposed to go in there, and it keeps coming out. I think I have to bend this part here a little bit more. There we go. All right, that should do it. Maybe not. Yeah, all right. Well, we're gonna have to go with that. So let's paint. I'm starting with the frames, and for that I'm using a big brush. And then the front panels I will do with a roller. But I'm pretty much doing 2 coats. And I'm using the same paint I used in the stairs. Bright white and high gloss. Easy to clean. It's going to brighten up the whole space, and it's going to look fabulous once done. Now the problem when you paint white on white is that you can't really see a difference unless the area is really dirty. So I'm going to have to put my glasses on and pay attention to what I'm doing. I'll say it again, it's amazing what one coat of paint will do. And this is just the white. Had to stop because it's 6 o'clock and I usually stop around that time. I have one coat on everything and pretty happy. So I did clean everything and vacuum. So all of this has been painted, including the front of the door. The back will be done next week. Corners here looking good. Don't worry about the stains on the floor. Again, that's getting covered anyway by a new flooring. And you tell me if you can tell, there used to be a hole right there. And I can see it, but you gotta look really, really carefully because it's not super, super smooth, but I'm pretty happy with it. And over there, it's looking pretty good too. Now, I wanna show you something. I was debating whether I should putty this. See how on the internet there's always like this gallery of pictures about the test of time and how time changes things. This is years, we're talking 50 something years of a similar chain, because I remember changing this chain when we moved in, going like this when you open and close the door. And I don't know if it's because the wood is soft, I doubt it. It looks like it's good oak, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm getting tired. It's made this dent, and you know what? This is the kind of stuff, to me, little details that make a house a home. So I'm keeping it, but I'm pretty happy. Can't wait to finish this. Obviously, again, needs a second coat because you can see some areas where the parts that I have sanded are still showing. So imagine now what it would look like with a similar type of wood here and everything super, super nice and clean. And I'm glad I was able to do this as well on the baseboard because that really needed it. And I will leave you at that. I took my time. I think I did it well. The door still has some dings here and there, you know, but again, age, and I don't know if you can really make old look brand new. It would require stripping, sanding, and all of that. It's just a winter project, but I tell you what, I think I've said that before in the past, but I was reminded of that today. It doesn't have to be perfect, and even if it's not perfect, you're still amazing. So go ahead and do your little projects. It gives me a sense of purpose on the weekend when I get up and I know I have a project to tackle, whether it's a sewing project or something like that. And I really, truly enjoy it. I don't know if you can tell. It was not exhausting, but I really enjoyed the process of doing this because I like the result. And I can't wait to see it done. This particular mirror I'm keeping, but it's going to be lowered. Because I don't know if you can see where it ends here. I'm going to lower it a little bit, maybe by 6-7 inches, just about. When I'm looking at myself in the mirror, right, I can see my full body, but I think the mirror is a little too big. I think the mirror is a little bit too big. And then I was thinking about doing, well, other than me having to repair this here, I just need a few clamps and some liquid nail. I was thinking about chalk painting it and sanding it so you can still see the gold underneath instead of having it in gold. You tell me down below what you think. Should I chalk paint the mirror in white and sand it lightly so you can see the gold underneath it? Should I leave it gold or should I just paint it in white? Probably all white would look good, but then it loses its appeal. Anyway, next week, what am I doing? Coat number 2. Oh wait, I got a smudge right here. I don't know, maybe. So next week, what am I doing? Coat number 2 throughout, and then the closet inside. I got to see where that draft is and paint the other side of the door, organize everything in there. And then once that's done, I'm coming back in here, so that would be video number 4. I'll do the ceiling and the yellow. That's not much for one video, is it? And then maybe we'll go and pick the wood. or whatever I decide to put here. I want to get rid of the tile, cover it. I hate it. I said that before. First of all, it doesn't match anything in the house and I just don't like it. It's too cold. I need to really re-insulate this area. So that would be it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check down below. Join me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm losing my mind already. And for those of you who are regulars and wanted to know who won the giveaway for the tea set, the Simplicity tea box, I've already posted in the community who it was. I think the lady's name was Kylie Harris or Kiri Harris or something like that. I'll have to check that out. But please check your messages. You know, my reply to your post saying you wanted to participate, and then the community post, because I haven't received your email yet to let Simplicity Tea know that you're the winner of the box. So check your stuff. Guys, I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey, it's me, and guess what? Click that thumbs up if you really like this video. Thumbs down twice if you didn't. You can also share my video if you really liked it, or save it to watch later. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, but don't forget to click that bell button so you are always notified when I post a new video. Thank you for watching.